Hi everyone, it's Laura Milligan. Welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. It is Monday at 1 p.m. Today is April 14th. So thank you for joining me. I have a really pretty card for Easter that I'm going to share with you today. I know that Easter is less than a week away. It's this coming Sunday, but hopefully you'll have time to maybe make this card or something similar and pop it in the mail to someone and wish them a happy Easter. So if you are there, say hi. I'm going to give everyone a minute to tune in. I hope y'all had a good weekend. We did. I think the sun's trying to I think the sun is shining here today, so that's good. I'm going to go out in a little bit and do a little bit of gardening. I'm just starting to get things going in my garden. It's waking up for spring, which is very exciting. There's Myra. Hi, Myra. How are you? You're almost always the first one on here. I'm going to wait a minute and just give other people a second to find me. I know sometimes it takes a minute for people to connect. But yeah, we had a really good weekend. We got to go to Cleveland last night and see Peter Pan at Playhouse Square, which was really good and really fun. And, you know, of course, Peter Pan and Wendy and Michael and John all fly. And that was really awesome to see. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera view. I don't see anyone else joining me yet, but I know, there we go. Oh, it's still Myra. Hi, Myra again. Yeah, beautiful weekend. It was a nice weekend here. It wasn't bad. I think we're all excited for sunshine and warmer weather, and I know this week our forecast is going to be warmer weather. So let me just mention really quickly, tomorrow is the day that our new reward system is going to go into effect, and we're all pretty excited about it. It's going to benefit all of you so much. I think it's going to be a good thing. But our ordering system is going to be down for quite a while tomorrow. We're not exactly sure of the timing. I think it just depends on how long it takes, but if you go to the Stampin' Up! Site, you will get some kind of a notification that it's currently down because they've got to switch things and change things over to the new system. So you can watch for that and just be patient. It's going to be coming back up and you will be able to order. And take advantage. We still have a lot of really good things on our last chance list. A lot of things have sold out already, but there are still plenty of things to shop for. So be sure to check all those things out tomorrow. There's Debbie and Linda. Hi, Linda. Gosh, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Hi, Terry. So good to see all of you here today. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera view down now, and I want to just briefly mention my current class to go, and it's featuring the Thankful Garden, which is that beautiful hydrangea set. And I used this last week and showed you some cards, and I released this class, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday after my Facebook Live. So these are different cards, but I wanted to mention that registration is now open. You will get supplies to make 5 gorgeous cards. You will also get a pack of these fun new gems. They're called Starburst Sequins, and they have adhesive on the back, so they're really easy to use in your projects. And then you'll get a full pack of this gorgeous, I think it's called Lovely Garden Designer Series paper. It is 12 by 12. I've just cut it in 6 by 6 because it's easier, I think, to show on screen. And here's the back side. I love the black and white patterns. I love the florals on this. I think this paper, look at that. I think it's just gorgeous. I'm a big fan of hydrangeas. I was watching a gardening video last night, and these 2 men who own this amazing property were saying that they have about 150 hydrangeas. So I was extremely jealous of that. My gosh, I don't have near that many, but I love every single one of them. So don't miss this class. These are beautiful cards, and I have made a PDF with all the measurements, a photo of the cards, as well as a video walking you through how to put all of the projects together. So don't miss out on that. Registration, like I said, closes April 25th. Let me get these out of the way. Okay, I have a beautiful Easter card that I'm going to share for you today. It's actually like a pop-up cross. Some of you may have seen this before. I have seen these cards all over the internet, and I just decided that I wanted to make one as well. It actually goes together fairly easily. There are quite a few parts and pieces to it, but they're pretty much straight cuts and easy to do, easy to duplicate. And like I said earlier, I know that Easter is coming up this Sunday, but you could whip a couple of these out today or tomorrow and get them in the mail, and hopefully they will arrive in time for Easter. So I am using, I wrote down the measurements for the different cuts that you'll need to do this card. This is from the Delightful Wishes bundle. And these are the dies, Delightful Wishes, yes. So I have cut this branch, and you can see that die. Let me pull these out here. You can see that branch right there. And then I also used this die. And the cool thing about this die is part of this suite, which is gorgeous. We use this at my overnight retreat, but part of this suite is this gorgeous vellum paper. And so let me just show you. How does this go? I think it goes like this. Yeah. So you can actually cut these flowers, and I cut quite a few of them. Actually, it's just one, two, three. So you get all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different flowers. Some are connected, like this is 3 together. And then these are just separate flowers, but those are all cut directly from the designer paper, just with this one die, which is pretty cool. And then the leaves, that's true. Terry says Eastertide lasts several weeks, so they wouldn't really be late. So perfect. So you can make this and get them in the mail, and they will arrive in a timely fashion. And then you can see how this die cuts the leaves, which is so cool. It makes it so easy to make a card like this. And then I have, like I said, my little branch. So I'm going to set those aside. This vellum paper is so pretty, and I'm actually using a couple other strips from the vellum. So I'm going to lay all these pieces out, and I know sometimes people like to do a screenshot so that they have the measurements all ready to go. So we have 2 pieces of vellum cut 7/8 by 5 1/8. Our base is, I'm using Lemon Lolly, 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. Let me move my branch out of the way here. See if I can get all of these on my screen for you to see here. Okay. And then I have 2 pieces. This is the Country Woods Designer Series paper. And we need a piece 1 1/8 by 5 1/8, and then 1 1/8 by 3. So 2 pieces. I chose, this is going to be my cross. And I thought the cross should be wooden. And I think for me, you know, you think of Jesus and the cross, and it was wooden. So I chose this. I thought this Country Woods paper was perfect to make the cross for this. And then we have another little piece for the cross part, and it is 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. That's just with basic white. Then I have a stylish shaped circle. You wouldn't have to use this depending on what words you use. You could use a more like a longer rectangular banner type shape, but I wanted to use this circle. I thought it looked good with the shape of the cross and everything. And then for the back of the card, this seems like a lot, but it's going to be simpler once you see me put it together. The back of the card is basic white, 3 1/4 by 5, and then I just have this little strip of DSP, 3/4 by 3 1/4. I'm going to put that down at the bottom there like that. And then the other piece, and I think this is it. Yeah. Here's some of my leaves. I'm going to need those. This piece is the pop-up piece. And it is basic white. It's 5 by 5 1/4. We're going to do some scoring. I'm going to show you that right now. So I'm going to lay these out. If you want to do a quick screenshot, then you will have all the measurements you're going to need to make this card. And like I said, it looks like a lot, but it actually goes together fairly quickly. This is going to be, I think it's going to be pretty quick. So I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that if you want. If not, you can always come back and look at the video again and stop and start and write them down on your own. But I'm going to move all these over here to the side. I'm going to keep this here. All right, I'm going to just pull these out of the side here. Okay, so this piece is 5 inches across, 5 1/4 inches long, and I'm going to get my paper trimmer. Watch out for my little vellum flowers here. I'll put this here so you can see. I'm going to slide my dark blade out of the way because that will cut it, and I don't want to do that. Okay, get these out of the way here. Okay, so I'm going to score on the 5-inch side, which is the shorter side. This is 5 1/4, like I said. This is 5 inches. I'm just going to double check that I'm doing, yep, so 5 inches across. So I'm going to score this at 1 inch. 1 7/8. If you have our scoring tool, you could do it that way as well. I just, for the most part, use my trimmer to score. Okay, so we've made 4 score lines here, and that's all I need my paper trimmer for. So I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to get my bone folder, and just going to score all these lines. And it's almost like you're making an accordion. I don't know whose original idea this was, but like I said, I have seen this card all over the internet, and I thought it was so pretty, and I wanted to duplicate it. So, okay, so what you're going to do now, I'm going to do this like this, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is going to be popped up on the card. The cool thing about this card is it's going to fit in an envelope. It flattens out. Once we get it all together, I'll show you. It actually flattens out, and you can mail it in a regular sized envelope. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to take my lemon lolly. And of course, if you don't have these colors, if you don't have this designer paper, just do something similar. And I'm going to go ahead. This is going to be attached to our card base. Our card base is small. It's smaller than like what we would normally use for a card base. But I'm going to go ahead and start by just putting glue on one of these sides. When you're doing this, what you want to do when you fold it, you just want to make sure the centerpiece is what's popped up. So I'm going to go ahead and just position this here like this. I'll give that a press, and then I'm going to put some glue on this side, and I'm just going to center it. Just with about maybe 1/4 of an inch. Whoops, there. It's nice to use this glue because it gives you some wiggle room. I always need wiggle room when I'm making a card because my stuff is never straight. Okay, so we have this. I'll hold it up here so you can see how that pops out. Just like that. That's the base of our card. And you can see how this is going to fold down, but it'll still pop up when it's pulled out of an envelope. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is take my strips of vellum. These are 7/8 inches by 5 1/8. And I thought this designer paper was so pretty for Easter. It just is so springy and fresh. These are forsythias, which is one of my favorite flowers. I think I was talking last week about my neighbor across the street has this giant forsythia bush. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. It literally goes like the length of her property. And gosh, it is looking gorgeous right now. Okay, so we've got that on there like that. It looks like this moved a little bit, and I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it out. It's a little bit off-centered, but you'll get the idea. It'll be okay. Yeah, it's a little bit crooked. That's all right. And what I'm doing, I'm putting just little dabs of glue on the back of these flowers because this is vellum. But what I found with this vellum is that it's not, it's pretty forgiving. You don't see the glue behind it, so that's good. Okay, so we've got that there like that. And then the next piece I'm going to take is my piece so this is going to be my cross. So I'm starting with it here. And like I said, I chose this because I thought the cross should be wood because that makes it more realistic. And I chose out of the Country Woods DSP. There are all kinds of different shades and types of wood in this paper, but I liked this darker color. I thought it was a good contrast to like the yellows and the blues. All right, next piece. So this is for the cross, the center piece of it. It is cut 1 1/8 inch by 3. This piece, we're going to layer it on there. This is 1 1/4 inch by 3.5. I'll hold that up there for a second. Okay. So let's just glue this on here. I thought about even taking my scissors and distressing the wood around the edges. But then I kind of like the more clean look for this one. So this is going to go here. This will be the cross part of the cross. You can see how it's forming there. You only want to put glue in the center. And let's see if we can get this centered here. I'm going to pull this up a second and look, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to move this down though just a bit. So I want to make sure I have room for what I'm going to add to this. Okay, so we have that. Give that a second to attach. Okay, then what I'm going to do is bring in all my die cuts. And isn't it nice? Like I said, the die cuts cut this vellum. Let me slide all these down here. Okay. It makes it actually really nice. And the one, like I said, just with that one die cut, you get all these flowers cut. All right, so I'm going to start with my branch, and I'm just going to glue that onto the front of the cross. And I'll just do that like that. Okay. And then I'm going to set that aside for 1 second because I want to do my stamping. So I have my circle. I think I might have 2 here, do I? Nope, that's just 1. Okay. And I'm going to use Pecan Pie ink. I picked that. That's the color of my branch here. Okay. And I am using Easter Greetings. And that is from the Storybook Friends stamp set. You know how much I love this. And so I thought that was perfect for the front of this card. And I'm, again, using Pecan Pie ink. I think I just said that. And I'm going to center this on my circle like that. So So I'm going to take my dimensionals. Have any of you made one of these cross cards yet? The pop-up cross card? I think it's so pretty. And I'm just going to put a dimensional at the top and bottom of this. And that's just going to go right there, like that. And then I'm going to decorate this. So I'm going to start adding my flowers. And I'm just going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So I'm just going to add a dab of glue right to my vellum here. And let me see, let me spread my flowers out here so I can see. There's the one with the 3 flowers. And I think for down here, I'm just going to take this one. You could do these any way you want, of course. Oops. And I'm going to do that like that. And I have it so that the flower is resting on top of the word, the circle. I thought that looked pretty like that. And then the teeny little, here it is, this little bud, I'm going to put at the very top of this little branch here, the little twig. I'm just going to set that on there like that. Okay, and then I have this piece, which is just going to rest on that part of the branch. So I'm just going to put some glue here and here and here. Like that. Let's set that there. And then I'm going to add the rest of the leaves. And I'm just going to tuck these under. So this one I'm going to put the glue underneath as I tuck it in there. Like that. And then I want to tuck one under here as well. These are so pretty. The vellum, it's just so pretty and soft. Okay, tuck that under there. Like that. So there we have the front of our card, and I want to add an embellishment, and so I pulled out my antique pearls. I didn't think it needed a lot of embellishment, but I thought it would be pretty to use lilies. I don't know that we have any small lilies that would work for this, but I thought these were pretty. And I always like things with a lot of white. That always works for me too. So I'm going to take these antique pearls, and I'm just going to take one of the smaller size and pick it up with my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to rest it right there by the word Easter. Easter greetings. So we have that, and then I'm going to just flip this over, and that's how it will close. And then on the back, I'm going to add my back piece, and it's 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. I'm just going to put that here on the back. Like this. Center that on there. And then this was just like an extra strip that I had, and so I thought, why not cut it down a little bit to decorate the back. I think I'm getting to the end of this tube of glue. And I'm just going to tack this on the back. This is where you would sign your name, write your greeting, your message. And then I have these extra flowers that I had cut and one extra leaf. So I'm going to go ahead. I wasn't sure where I wanted to put these. I tried it at the bottom But then as it turned out, I liked it just at the top here. I thought it was pretty there. So there's room to write just a short little message. And I think this is a beautiful Easter card to send to someone. So there we have that. So there's the back of our card. And then you can see, of course, here's the front. What do you think? I think it's just so beautiful. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And then I did want to show you, too, what I did for the envelope. So I have another little piece. See, I've got a couple extra flowers here I'll save, but I have another little piece of the designer paper vellum, and this is cut 5 3/4 by 2 1/4. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally, you've seen me decorate the flap of an envelope and just follow the edge of the white to trim it, but I started doing this recently and I really like it. I just, rather than trimming the edges so that it has the curve following the shape of the flap, I leave it straight. And there's still plenty of adhesive on the flap to hold it shut. I like the look. So I'm just going to fit this on here. You can see it fits perfectly. I'm just going to hold this down. And you can see there's where it would, of course, seal. But I think it looks pretty. And again, it's just something a little bit different. So that is my project for today. I hope that you love this. I think it's gorgeous. I love this card. And I have to think of someone real special to send it to. I have somebody in mind. But anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this. And that's it. Let me hold this up this way, too. And then here's the back. But like I said, it's going to completely flatten, fit in the envelope, and then someone will be the lucky recipient. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you all have a great week and a blessed Easter. He is risen. And I will look forward to stamping with you again next week. Please take care. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.